Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News. Tuesday, October 8th, 2024. Stand up for your country. So no guests tonight on this program because there's so much breaking news. Almost overwhelming, all the stuff that's going on. My job is to keep it simple, keep it pithy, lay it on out so even I can understand it. I figure if I can get it, you can get it, right? I don't like the complexities. I strip them away because usually complexities are BS unless you're in physics and chemistry, and we don't do that here. Okay. So the talking points memo is about Vice President Harris's media tour. Finally, the pressure became so intense on the Harris campaign, they had to go out, talk to somebody, right? So they get the hard stuff out of the way with 60 Minutes, which really wasn't that hard. However, I'm a fair man. Bill Whitaker, the CBS News correspondent, he did a fairly good job. He wasn't as tough as I would have been, but he asked the pertinent questions. She didn't answer them, and he pushed at some point, but he didn't define, and I'll explain that. So Kamala Harris goes in. She knows that CBS News is friendly territory because they're all friendly territory with the exception of Fox and Newsmax, to a lesser extent. So the first question that Whitaker has is about all these promises. You know, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to spend that, we're going to do this. All right. I mean, how many times is she going to just roll that out? Number one, Whitaker is saying, and did say, because I cut that down, that Congress is never going to pass all this insane spending. There's no way on earth that Congress is going to okay the Harris administration, if she wins, writing a $25,000 check to first-time homebuyers. That's not going to happen. And it's unconstitutional because it excludes most of the U.S. population from the government largesse. So it's never in a million years going to happen. Harris, whether she knows it or not, I don't know if she's smart enough to know it. And I'm not saying that in a mean way. But she has not demonstrated any insight into how this country runs. Right? And the rich people can afford it, they pay their fair share. You're never going to cover it, even if you got it through Congress, which you'll never do. Okay? You're never going to be able to cover that. The amount of money that you want to spend. I mean, $3 trillion, and it goes up and up and up and up and up. You just can't do it. Okay. So that was number one. And I thought Whitaker did a good job. Push, push, push. I would have said at the end, with all due respect, no matter how high you raise taxes on corporations and on affluent individuals, you can't cover. You can't come close to covering. And not only that, but the Biden administration has added more than $7 trillion to national debt in 3.5 years. You think that's good? Well, see what she says. Now, she'd probably blame it on COVID, but I don't even know if she would think that fast. Second question, okay? Flip-flops. Go. This is gibberish, okay? You either have core beliefs or you don't. So you sign on with Bernie Sanders to a Medicare for all bill. All right, that means government controls the health system, top to bottom, in this country. And then you don't like it. You signed on the bill, but a few years later, when you're running for president, you don't like it anymore. Why? Well, I talked to a lot of people and I want consensus. Well, there is no consensus. Okay, the people who support you and Bernie Sanders want the government to run. All right, it's not like 90% of Americans are going, we don't want the government to run the healthcare industry. A lot of them do. They vote Democrat. They're liberal. They want a big government apparatus. But what she does is she doesn't even attempt to answer the question about fracking. If she would say, look, I changed my opinion on fracking because I have to win Pennsylvania, and that's a big industry, so that's why I changed it. Okay? At least you could respect the honesty. But no, she goes into the land of gibberish because that's where she lives. She lives there. Third one, and this is the most outrageous. And this is where I would have gotten a little bellicose. Word of the day, had I been Whitaker. That is simply not true. It's not even close to being true. You cannot justify that statement. Whitaker should have, bang, give me one solution you've offered in the first year of the Biden administration. Give me one. Because she always falls back on, oh, Trump killed the immigration bill that Charles Schumer ginned up early this year. That's what she always said. Give me one that you did in the first year that is a solution to the open border. She couldn't do it. Whitaker booted it. He booted it because he didn't anticipate the boldness of the lie. That, what she just said, from day one, literally, we have been offering solutions, is about the biggest falsehood I have heard from any politician in the last decade. And you know it. Everyone knows it. You can't justify it. You can't even point to anything. And certainly she couldn't. So if Whitaker really wanted to crush her, which he did not, CBS did not want to crush her, he would have said, give me one, like I would have done, like you would have done. You don't have to be trained journalists when you hear something like that. Well, give me an example. Give me one. In the first year of the Biden-Harris administration, give me one solution to the open border. About 7 to 8 million foreign nationals traipsed in here that first year. What was your solution to it? You didn't have one. You didn't even try. Now, when I watched that, I got to tell you, I take it too personally because I'm in the business. All right. So she gets through the 60-minute interview. I don't, look, the people who support her, they're going to support her no matter what. Okay? I think a lot of the Biden voters, 81 million, are going to stay home. I can't see Harris get much more than 70 million. I can't. Popular vote. Because she doesn't have a grasp of the issues or even an understanding of them. Okay? She's purely a face candidate. Put her out, the wise guys behind, and it's the same Biden crew, by the way, and there's some Obamas sprinkled in, will run the government. You just look good and get out there and just spout, it's all Trump's fault, it's all this, spout fair share, just keep saying that. We'll run stuff. All right, then she shows up on The View today. Now, we all know what that is, okay? And I don't object to that program. I object to it being under the banner of ABC News. I think it besmirches ABC News to have that. It should be an entertainment program because that's what it is. They have no interest in covering the news. They love Kamala Harris. And they have a perfect right to love Kamala Harris. All right? That's who they are. Ms. Goldberg, Behar, the whole panel. They're all left-wingers. They're all liberals. Because their life, their lives, their social activities are all tied up in that left-wing Manhattan world. All right? Their whole lives. They can't get out of it even if they wanted to, and they don't want to. So it was a smooch fest. It were cupcake questions, except for one. Roll it.
If anything, would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
There you go. To take that sentence, if I were the Trump campaign and just run it all over the place on a TV ad, I wouldn't have done anything different than Biden. Biden's approval rating, okay, before he got out of the race was 37%. And that woman would have done nothing differently. And she answered honestly. Harris answered that question honestly. Because in her mind, Biden, Harris, that was great. We were great. We are great. She really believes that. Just like the Moonies believe that Moon, the guy who runs the cult, he's the greatest guy. And I'm going to go out and devote my whole life to getting money for Moon. I'm a Moonie. They believe it. Anyway, the rest of it is, what are you going to do? Now, this is going to continue to November 5th. You know, they're going to go into the friendlies. They got the 60 Minutes thing. She can say, oh, I went on 60 Minutes. Okay. This campaign that Kamala Harris is involved with is exactly like Warren Harding's campaign. I have mentioned this before, but there is a reason I am doing this. So there's Harding. 1920, he's elected president. He defeats a guy named Cox and FDR as the VP. And he goes in to the White House because American people were fed up with Woodrow Wilson and the Democrats after 8 years, World War I. They had enough of them. So Harding doesn't answer one single question. All right, no interviews, nothing. Nobody knows anything about the man. He's a former newspaper editor from Ohio. He gets into the Senate. He's a machine politician. Republicans didn't have anybody. So Warren looks okay. Let's get Warren in there. So Warren gets elected. All right. And again, doesn't answer any questions. And nobody knows if he's got a philosophy, how he sees the world, nothing. He is a disaster of epic proportions, to use a cliche. He's stupid. He does nothing. He plays cards and drinks all night with his corrupt friends who he gives jobs to, and they steal money. He chases his mistress around inside the White House while his wife is upstairs, and he dies. Some people believe his wife killed him. I lay it out in confronting the presidents. I don't really believe it, but it's an amusing tale. No autopsy on Warren. So the reason I'm telling you this is exactly the same thing, but much more serious now, 104 years later. Okay. So Harding, when you read Confronting the Presidents, and I hope you do, I mean, it would add so much to your life to really understand your country. When you read about Harding, you go, how could a nitwit like this get elected? It's the same exact thing going on today. Oh, I'm like that. All right. Finally, Kamala Harris is a very disciplined woman. Now, I got to say something good about her, I guess, to be fair. She's on message. You cannot blow her off of that message. You can't. Fair share. Trump did everything bad. Biden did everything good. I'm going to get all this stuff. I'm going to give you money for this, that, blah, blah, blah. Never deviates. When you get her off the prompter, when you ask her something unexpected, she can't answer. But she has memorized the talking points, and she just spouts them. No matter what you ask, she's coming back. That's disciplined. And that's the exact opposite of Donald Trump, who is undisciplined in his messaging. Trump has a much better story to tell. Much better. Even with all the crazy election stuff and all of that. Just policy. But he's undisciplined. Harris is like, boom, right there. And that's the memo. Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. America is at a breaking point. Record inflation, interest rates, debt. The last thing we need is more reckless government spending and higher taxes, and they could happen. But a Harris presidency could bring us into that zone, plus a hit to your retirement savings. So protect your savings with American Hartford Gold. They'll help you secure your retirement by diversifying with physical gold and silver. Start with a simple phone call. They'll guide you through the process, even deliver gold and silver right to your door, or place it directly in your IRA or 401k. Don't wait. These safe haven assets can protect you in an economic crisis. Call or text American Hartford Gold today. Tell them O'Reilly sent you to get up to $15,000 of free silver on qualifying orders. Call 866-501-5201. That's 866-501-5201. Or text Bill to 65532. Again, 866-501-5201. Or text Bill to 65532. Let's go to the mail. We got a Brendan, concierge member. Brendan gets direct access to me. If you become a premium or concierge member on BillO'Reilly.com, you get Confronting the Presidents or any of my killing books absolutely free. Best deal in the Western Hemisphere. No tariffs at all. Send you right there. Book, you get the membership on the spot. Brendan, Mr. Rowe, I disagree with your prediction that Trump is leading. I'm predicting that Trump is leading in a landslide. Well, that's because you want to predict that. You want to believe it. The data is very close. Pete, Kosubenko, Chicago. Mr. Rowe, you state that Harris uses teleprompter because she doesn't know. I agree. But more important is that she doesn't know she doesn't know. I think she knows she doesn't know. She looks very insecure out there to me. Could be wrong. Louis Brackett, San Diego. FEMA is blocking aid to red voters in swing states. If you have information, Louis, to back that up, please. Bill@BillO'Reilly.com, Bill@BillO'Reilly.com. Send it to me immediately. I'll put it on the air tomorrow. Charles, news to me, 45% of Londoners are foreign born. National identity will change here in America as a result. It will. I mean, it has to. It has to. You get overwhelmed by people who aren't born here. Culture's going to change. George Albert, Williamsville, New York. Both parties in Washington spend irresponsibly. Deficit continues to balloon. Does the dollar need to collapse before our elected officials do something? Yes. Yes. That's the answer. Chad Coffey, Normal, Illinois. Normal. If Republicans control both houses of Congress, could they pass a national law of in-person voting only? Only if there's a constitutional amendment. You got to get 3/4 of the states to sign on because the Constitution gives the individual states the power to conduct the vote the way they want. James Misikian, El Dorado Hills, California. Will you please explain why Ukraine is of such strategic importance? And have to do with strategy. Has to do with stopping Putin. Can't let him run wild. That's what it's all about. Daniel Darcy, Port Jefferson Station, New York. My wife and I attended the Massapequa Park Street Fair Sunday, October 6th. I was wearing my Team Normal cap and was approached by a half a dozen people with thumbs up. Team Normal caps. Yes. Send a message. All right, we want you to go to the BillO'Reilly.com store. Get your premium concierge membership. Get your mugs, Team Normal mug. No, not woke mug. No socialism mug. Get those. Good price on them. Great gifts. And we got the baseball caps for you. And have some fun. Worthy today to not be mendacious. MENDACIOUS. Don't be mendacious for writing to me. Bill@BillO'Reilly.com. Name and town, please. Okay, we'll be back with a final thought about how confronting the presidents is playing among the folks. All right, listen up, because you have worked hard to protect your home and your hard-earned equity. And there's a threat out there you probably haven't even heard of: title theft. The FBI calls it house stealing. Scammers can literally transfer your home's title into their name, take out loans, drain your equity. You might not even know it's happening until it's too late. That's why you need triple lock protection from our friends at Home Title Lock. Their system gives you 24/7 monitoring, instant alerts, and restoration services if you are attacked. Here's the deal. Go to HomeTitleLock.com. Enter the promo code BILL30, and you'll get 30 days of triple lock protection free, plus a complete scan of your home's title to make sure you are in the clear. Remember, 30 days free. Title scan included. Use promo code BILL30 at HomeTitleLock.com or visit the link below. You didn't vote for this economy, but you're paying for it at the pump, the grocery store, and through that stack of unpaid bills. Financial stress crushing. The solution? DoneWithDebt.com. Unlike the others, Done with Debt has new aggressive strategies that free you from debt without bankruptcy or loans. They will negotiate with your creditors so that you'll have more money in your pocket from month one and every month until you're debt free. And the best news, Done with Debt is accepting new clients. But don't wait. Some of their debt strategies are time sensitive. Let Done with Debt hit the debt reset button for you and make your money yours again. But again, This is time sensitive. So visit donewithdebt.com or call 888-322-1054 right now. Chat with one of their debt relief strategists for free. Go to donewithdebt.com, donewithdebt.com. Here's a final thought of the day. Amazon, which moves a lot of books, has reviews. You can read the review. Now, the reviews, some of them, people don't read the book. They don't buy the book, but Amazon still lets them post. And I hate that, but that's Amazon's rules. So you always get that initial wave of hate. But now, 3 weeks out, 84% of the reviewers from the folks on Amazon say Confronting the Presidents is a great book. 84%. There you go. That means more to me than the New York Times bestseller list. I want you to get your money's worth on the book. And the audio, too. Yeah, audio way up there on the bestseller audio list. Because I know you're busy and you're running around, but boy, you plug that into your car, little headphone thing and all of that. You learn a lot while you're going wherever you're going. Okay? You're jogging or you gym or you physical and mental at the same time with the audio stuff. So we're very proud of Confronting the Presidents. It's really a good book. And if you read it, as I say, you'll know more than 90% of your fellow American citizens. Thank you very much for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.